I didn't get much response on my last video, so I thought I'd make this kind of fun. Everyone knows the first 2 rules to Fight Club. What is rule number 8? Maybe somebody else will find this and can find this video on YouTube and post the answer. If you guys know the answer to the question, post it down below. Let's start pulling this apart so we can clean it. So this video is a part 2 or a continuation. The first video I linked in the upper right hand corner. Go watch that first and then come back here to watch the completion of that job. Here's a roller bearing right here. It is snap ringed in, and this is the seal for our torque converter. We're going to get a new seal for this. So we're going to reseal this guy. This isn't what was leaking, but it's still going to get replaced. We're going to take this piece, we're going to put it into our cleaner, parts cleaner, and then we'll wash this bearing out with brake clean. We'll wipe all this down when we're done, and we're going to put a little dabble of oil in here so that way this doesn't get started to dry. And then here's our cover to our impeller drive. So here's our outer portion. If any of you have seen this stuff before and wondering what it's about, this is rough casted aluminum, and then they balance this by taking weight out. So they spin it up to high speed, see where the imbalance is. They have a machine that does that, and then they'll take weight out in order to balance this. And these are like probably how they cast it in, and they cut them off and then shave them smooth. And then this section right here is bolted in. I believe there's a seal here. We're gonna pull that apart and look, because we're gonna seal every section of this. The part that's interesting to me is this hardware has holes in it. To me, that tells me this should be safety wired. I'm gonna research that to see if it actually needs it. I don't know why they would have safety wire bolts in here if it didn't need safety wired. My guess is they do that so this can't necessarily come apart, because this would create some serious havoc inside if one of these bolts came out. Got all those bolts out. Assuming this comes apart fairly easily. Yep. And no O-ring. So I'm going to go ahead and wash these, and then I'll put them right back together. And I'm not a transmission guy, so don't quote me on some of these part names. I'm not sure. This piece right here, you just need to make sure you necessarily get it put in the right way. I don't think it'll fit this way. Yeah, it fits, but it just looks wrong. So this piece goes in here. There's no parts to this. There is, they call this a reaction shim. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's to delay how it drives. I'm not sure. If you guys know what this is for or why it's there, post in the comments below. I'm really not sure. I'm not a transmission guy. I can take them apart and put them back together, reseal them, but it's still black magic to me just a little bit. So we'll put this in the parts washer. Also, to reseal this part, you have to flip this over, and here's this big circlip looking thingamajigger on the back. And this takes a special tool to actually take this apart. Now, I'm not necessarily sure which one's the right tool for this job. I have this one, which has little tangs here to get down into something to release it. This one has little detents for these types of circlips, so your little hook pieces can go inside here. Basically what you're seeing here is that little guy. Now the difference between these two is this one, when you open it, like most pliers, it opens in an arc. This one is a little different because when you open it, it opens linearly. There's no arc when you open the tool. It opens straight. And if you want some part numbers for this, this is a Mac tool P35. And this is a Mac tool number P23A. Like I said, I don't know if either one of them is designed for this, but that's what I have, and I think one of them is going to work. Or they won't, because they don't open big enough. Oh, I think I got it. This one barely opens big enough. This is not a real stout snap ring, so there's some space in here, so we're going to call that good enough. This part slides off of here. There's no specific orientation to how it fits. So we will remember that numbers face me. I don't think it matters, but numbers face me on this. Now there is a seal here. That's partially why we're taking this apart. I'm guessing the dog dish comes off now. Yep, there we go. So there's your leak, if you're curious if there was one. Looks like it's been leaking for a little while. To get the centerpiece out, this gets unbolted. It happens all the time. Alright, that part's out now. So we have the backup ring, our main impeller body, I guess is what I'll call it. And then we have this inner piece. There is a seal in here, which I think is just that. I'll have to look at the breakdown. I don't think this has a seal to it. Yeah, it looks like it's just a bearing. Yep, just a bearing. So we'll go ahead and get all these pieces washed up, especially that one. And this is what gets the seal. This is what was leaking. It was leaking like this. So yeah, let's get her cleaned up. So we're going to go ahead and go over here to our parts washer. Now, if you've never seen this before, Crystal Clean, I'm sure other companies have something like it. This is something they call chemistry. It is a water-based cleaner. This is more like a average parts washer. It has a part that rotates in there on a timer. It's heated all the time, and you'll get spray out of these and there, and spray from underneath. This does a really, really nice job of getting stuff clean. The other part that's nice is once you close the lid, you'll start this part, and you have the option to turn on this, and you can hand clean larger parts up here. But we'll let that rinse for a little while. And it does have an oil skimmer that skims the oil off the top to try to keep this fluid as clean as possible. It's usually like a light yellow when it's fresh. But like I said, it's water-based. It's not really that harsh on the hands, not like solvent is. But if you guys are looking for a good parts washer, they're expensive. They lease them. However, hands down, probably one of the best parts washers I've ever used. I have all my small pieces put in this right here. That way I don't lose anything in the washer. It does have a good amount of force inside here. And then we're gonna bring that dog dish. This is the grodiest part. Let's see, I can get both in there pretty good. We'll start with it like this. We'll see how it washes out. 20-minute timer. let's see how clean it gets in 20 minutes. I know a lot of you guys don't like water-based cleaners. Let's see what she does. Be back in 20. And then earlier I said there was no seal on here. I didn't see that there was a seal right here. When I took this piece out of the parts washer, the seal had fallen off. So there's a seal for that guy too. So I gotta make sure I get that. Anyways, so here's our parts that I put in there. These are relatively clean. This part I said I could throw back together anytime. I'm gonna wipe all these down with a brake cleaner to get the film off, because I don't want the water-based cleaner film on here, because it's going to come in contact with the oil and it'll probably contaminate it. So we're going to wash all this down. When this part gets done, and actually this part too, maybe I will wash them in the sink first, because they won't corrode their aluminum, to get that water-based solution off. Not super clean, but reasonably clean. Oop.
Steamy.
Mostly rust. But there's some heavy accumulation here yet. But I got a lot of it off. Flip it over. Do it that way. And we're gonna hit it again. Oh yeah, that's clean. It's just rusty. Nice and clean. Yeah, it's just rust. So we're gonna call that good. And I got one last piece to clean here. Alrighty, so we're getting ready to put this back together. This has what they call safety wire bolts that does not call for safety wire. So I'm going to blue Loctite these just to be sure. It wasn't Loctite to begin with, and I'm paranoid about them coming out. It's probably fine if I torqued them. As you can see, 3 slashes or dashes or whatever. So this is a grade 5 piece of hardware. So when we look up our bolt chart, we're going to go grade 5. These are fine thread. So this is probably like a 3/8 24. So we'll look up a 3/8 24 bolt. And for grade 5 hardware, we'll torque that with some blue Loctite. For grade 5 is 30 foot-pounds. Make sure you're reading foot-pounds and not neutron meters. Okay, 30 foot-pounds. And I have this ran up and I left one bolt in just so it stays kind of tight. Now we're just going to do a dabby-do. A dab will do ya. Appreciate you guys following me along for this converter rebuild. If you guys are enjoying the video, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. If you feel like becoming a member, hit that join button down below. And from videos like this, I'm curious as to what knowledge you guys pick up from the video. So if you wouldn't mind, put down in the comment below of what did you enjoy about this video the most. Okay, got those all kind of ran up, so they're close. 30 foot-pounds. And we'll crisscross it just for the heck of it. Just to be sure. Last one to be sure. There we go. So, 30 foot-pounds, a little blue Loctite. She ain't coming apart. Alright, we got our bearing, seals, a big seal. I already went and found the die. This is actually a tire press die, but I don't have any bushing drivers that are this size. That way we can drive this back on squarely, I hope. So we're going to take this off. We'll need a bearing splitter. I hope the bearing splitter fits in here. trick on splitters, if it doesn't go by itself, just put some tension on it. That should relieve the tension. Ah, there we go. She went, boys. See, we got wedged up behind it. Got her pulled off just fine. New one pressed on. That's done. Set him off the side. So here's the dog dish to this portion. Take our die piece here. Easier than I thought. We've talked about on this channel several times before. So this would be considered like the U cup. If you imagine like the letter U. This always faces the oil. The reason being is if you see there's kind of a lip or like a ramp here. So if you were to have, let's say, oil pressure on this side, it would easily depress the seal and act like a ramp or a wedge to allow fluids out. But if you had fluid in here and no ramp, but you had fluid pressure in here, as you add pressure, it actually forces the seal onto the sealing surface more. And essentially this is the oil side of the side you want to seal. Alright, so make sure we get this oriented correctly. This is the dog dish. This is the way that faces you. This is inside the transmission. We want to seal this oil from getting through here. That being said, we always face the U cup towards the oil. So we'll do that. So there we are, completely flush. When that goes in, the U cup faces inside the transmission, so this is done. If I can't get it to stay, I'll grease it in place. Oh, and these were Loctited. I ran a tap down them to clean them up, but now we're going to Loctite them back in. Okay, so this is going in with Loctite. So a 3/8 fine, 35 foot-pounds. Actually, we'll crisscross these. That's torqued. It's already pre-lubricated. There we go. Got that on. Got that old girl on. Put that snap ring on. As you saw, that tool I had wasn't exactly the right tool for it. You can use screwdrivers for this. It works fine. Just like that. Okay, so we put this back together. We have our reaction wheel. Goes back in here. Like that. Let's see here. This goes over top of this. This goes over top of this. We had 2 bolts that keep it all together. Okay, put our tools away, we'll pack up and we'll go over to the customer. Alright, we got her all on there, torqued down, and I didn't get a whole lot of turnout on my last video, so I thought I'd just make it fun for this one. Everyone knows the first 2 rules to Fight Club. What is rule number 8? Comment down below if you guys know what it is. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. The old one's got a retention spring, and the hook piece, this is like a nylon or something. The new one is all steel, and the problem is once it's in the groove, I can't hook it. I need to be able to basically push it in and hook it over the top like that. And I don't have enough hands to do that, so I'm going to try to invent a way to do this.
I'm using the zip tie to hold it up in place. But I have the zip tie offset so I can hopefully hook it up and over. That's my goal. Gotta be super gentle here. So I'll push that down and in. Just a teeny tiny little screwdriver over it. Oh, I got it. Got it. Yeah. Got it. Now I can clip that zip tie out of there. Okay, so it appears I have it in all the way around. Okay, so we got our reaction ring in there. There's some color dealy bopper goes in there. Slip this in here. Put that on there. Dump this part.
Okay, and we're right back to where we started last time. Customer will finish putting this back together. Anyways, that was a fun one. We'll see you guys next time on Fix Fish.